All right. Here we
Was
go.
Sam jumping in? Or I
Surprise! I think she might have been thinking about it. So we'll just wait a couple more seconds. I don't think I have.
Somebody's watching us.
Do I have an intro? Hold on, let's see. Again, apologize if people are on with us already. Here we go. Countdown. Boom. Here we are! Hello! This is Knights of the Rogue Republic Live. We are coming to you this evening to talk Star Wars Celebration news because there was so much of it and we're so excited to talk about some of it that we decided we wanted to go live to share our excitement with all of the Star Wars fans of Walt's apartment. So thanks everybody who's joining us. Looks like we got all of 4 live stream viewers right now. But
Fantastic Four.
yeah, I thought Sam was going to join us, but maybe she decided not to, and that's okay.
Maybe she was napping because I was napping earlier, and I was just like,
Must be nice. I am Amber.
I'm Jade.
I'm Joey.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We have a packed agenda of items, so I didn't really get with you guys ahead of time to talk about what do you want to do first out of all of the plethora of stuff to cover today.
I don't care.
Lady's choice.
Well, you know what Jade's going to pick.
Well, that was on first day, so.
Let's talk about the acolyte.
Was it the younglings of the High Republic or whatever that little cartoon is?
The next set of the Tales of the Jedi.
Yep,
That's the big takeaway.
biggest takeaway.
Well, I mean, we might as well get the big one out of the way. The full trailer that everybody got to see for Ahsoka that we got a date for as well, right? August 2023.
This
Yeah.
summer.
Happy birthday to me. I'm excited.
Ooh, yay. So, I think if this works correctly, we're going to watch the trailer together. Are we going to comment as we go or just wait and talk about it after?
I feel like that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, I think we got to make a little bit of noise so we don't get banned or kicked off. So
Yeah.
we can do some
that's true.
oohs and ahs.
Yes. All right. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this without
And
Sean.
I'll hit play.
I'm lost. Okay.
Not bad.
Something's coming.
What is it?
Something dark.
So this part screams Jedi Temple, right?
Oh,
Like,
100%.
that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Sense it.
She broke into the temple.
Yeah.
Red Lucasfilm.
This music, too. I love this music.
The little loaf cat. Oh, gosh, so cute.
For some,
Doing.
war.
Still at that same temple.
Phantom 2.
Got the Phantom.
Hera!
Others.
Now these people, I was like, who are they? They don't
Yeah,
have.
this is interesting.
They don't have Inquisitor lightsabers. This looks
Oh,
exactly
Jade's
like
gonna
a
talk
scene
about
from
that.
the end of
been a while.
Rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things have changed. I started hearing whispers
Mon Mothma!
Reprising her
about
role.
Thrawn's return
Ah!
Yeah, Thrawn in some fancy looking ship.
as heir to the Empire.
Yeah! Oh my god, I freaked out so bad during that moment.
She said the thing.
We have to prepare for the worst.
Is that the world between worlds?
Yep, uh-huh.
Potentially.
You can tell by the sky and the patterns. Yep.
Potentially. It might be.
I mean, come on, it is.
Okay, whatever.
And we got a new Sith villain, or two, an apprentice, and a master.
Outcast, rebel. Jedi. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Jedi.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
Woo.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. Okay. So much to talk about in that.
So many things.
Like, ooh. So, standout moments, just before we, like, talk about the details of it.
Standout moments for me, Chopper.
We got a lot of first looks
Yeah.
about returning characters in live action now.
I was like, why is Sabine's hair so long?
But I dig it.
Yeah. The color.
I mean, I told Jade it looks a lot like the vibe she gets going on these days with the ombre
Sabine.
tones.
I was about Hera.
Yeah, like Hera.
Well, Hera's one of my
Hera-
favorite all-time Star Wars
Hera-
characters.
We saw her and I was like, where's her and Kanan's son?
Yeah,
Where's he at?
like no, like just nothing.
He's
Like
at the,
not even like a peripheral of like a somebody else that's maybe just a shoulder in a shot with her.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's at the New Republic daycare.
Hera would not leave.
Okay, but how old would he be? Like, have we figured out how much time they're trying to say has passed?
No. You think
If
I
it-
know how fast Sabine's hair grows?
Yeah, he's got to be at least like 4 or 5, maybe 6.
Yeah.
If they're staying with that timeline at
Ish.
the end of Rebels. And I'm not able to share comments, so just, okay.
Sky Avenger, hello.
Hello there.
Bill is joining us. Well, go wake up Sam. She's probably napping.
No, everything had, I mean, I saw this at like 4:45 in the morning. Now just like, holy
Yeah.
shit, this is
Yeah.
awesome.
World Between Worlds. That is
Yeah.
totally World Between Worlds. I love it. I hope they dive into the mythology a little bit like they did in Rebels. I think that would
Yeah.
be badass.
Make it canon up in here.
Thrawn, of course, which I guess if you were in the room, you got extra bits in this trailer and you got to see his face.
Yeah, I might have saw some leaked footage of that.
Yeah, that was from
So-
the trailer the next day. That the panel the next day.
Yeah.
Because there's stills of Sabine, I'm guessing with Ezra's lightsaber.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she gave
Yeah,
it to
there
her.
was
Or he gave it to her.
there was a
Before he
scene
took
of
off.
her fighting. Oh wait, maybe should I not say?
But then there's a hologram of Sabine looking like she's talking to Ezra.
No, she didn't look like she was talking. She looked like she was looking at it like
So it's like more like a
Sullenly.
photograph. Okay.
Yeah, like how he
don't
would
know.
always look at his parents. He had that little hollow photo.
Okay.
Lothal in live action looked amazing.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
Everything about this.
Yeah. It was all just amazing. Oh yeah, did you see at Celebration they had like the mural wall from the end of
Yeah.
Rebels? I was like,
Yes.
ah.
Yeah, and they said that was the actual one from the set too. So,
That is awesome.
yeah.
Dang.
So we definitely see an old Jedi temple ruin.
Mm-hmm.
She busts out that little trick with the lightsabers.
Yeah. And there's
break in.
also some like droid fighters that were giving like a lot from like Clone Wars era that she was fighting with. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, 'cause
at
that-
the same place. That was
Yeah.
also at the
That
temple.
was the same place, yeah.
Mhm.
Like why were they there?
Yeah, because the one that was talking to her at the end, he was in Clone Wars. He was like a lightsaber smith or something. I think,
Yeah,
from
that
Clone Wars.
droid. Yeah,
Yeah.
that droid. That's where I remember him from. He was like the one that helped the younglings build their sabers, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
the battle ones at the beginning with the vibro, was it called vibroblades? Is that what their weapons are called that the lightsabers can't cut through?
Yeah, something like that. But those two Siths, they didn't have Inquisitor lightsabers, so I'm not sure if they're actually Inquisitors, because she was fighting with one Inquisitor out in that like shipping yard looking
Yeah,
thing
with
that was
the
wearing
dual.
the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had an Inquisitor blade because it had the round part at it, like at the hilt.
Yeah.
But the other two,
Yeah, those
So-
are just straight up Sith.
no.
And this was from Twitter after they were breaking down the panel, but they were the guy who's Ray Stevenson. He was one of Thor's our buddies in that little group in the Thor movies. He was the one that was always eating. it says that he's a Order 66 survivor, and that was his apprentice. But then they went, after Order 66, they went to the dark side, and now they're loyal to Thrawn.
I
So
can see that.
Yeah, so that was the
That would
only
make a lot
thing
of
the only thing really announced about their character, and their name, but I forgot. So
Interesting.
I was starting to think like they have to have some kind of connection to Thrawn because clearly they're part of the Empire, but clearly they're not Inquisitors. So they're not like under Vader.
yeah.
So it's like that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Then even that quick shot of what's her name?
I have it here. Hold on.
Elia Kane.
Oh.
Wait.
Magistrate, the one that Ahsoka dueled.
No, the one that's on Coruscant right now. Kane, the one that mind flared Pershing.
No, that wasn't in the regular trailer.
Yeah, there's the one she was shooting at the Sith apprentice. the
Was
girl.
she?
Was that her?
It looked
I thought
like
that
her.
was somebody else.
I don't think that's her.
I thought.
Well-
I don't think that was her.
We'll have to
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch it. Play that.
So much going on in that trailer.
Was that her?
I don't think it was. I feel like that just kind of looked like her, right?
Carol.
I don't know.
Go back.
Did I
You
miss
skipped
that?
it. Right there. A little bit further back. A little bit further back.
Oh, me?
Yeah, no. Oh, no,
No.
we're pulling up the stills on the...
No,
no,
that's
that's
not
not her.
Oh,
Not her.
okay.
Nope.
Okay. It looked like her.
It does kind of look like her now that you say that.
It does. We're going to start a rumor. You heard it first here. No. Yeah, so that was kind of... I like the vibe, the look of that Sith apprentice. I'm assuming it's going to be an apprentice to
The older guy.
the older
In my notes, I called him Old Sith Guy.
Yeah.
old Sith guy.
He looked like Hodor from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Hodor when he didn't have to hold a door.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Call him hold saber. No, never mind.
So Sabine, Jade has an issue with one of these scenes.
Well, it's not an issue. It's just at like when you first see Sabine and she's like on the lookout tower and then the three ships go by. It looks exactly like one of the scenes from the end of Rebels, but
Yeah.
Sabine has the short hair that's purple and it's like kind of like almost like a buzz cut, and then in this one so like her hair's long, so it's like are they trying to make it the same scene but she just now has all long hair all of a sudden? Or is it supposed to be two different occasions? I don't know.
I think it
But-
might be just one of those nods to the animated series.
Okay.
I don't see that being a remake of that exact scenario. Like they're
Well-
picking up where they left off kind of deal. I don't think that's what it's supposed to represent. I think it'll be one of those nods like they've done with some other scenes that are replicas of things we've seen in other...
Yeah, I just find it odd how, or not odd, or, okay. I find it odd how that scene happens and then clearly Ahsoka was the one in that ship, the middle, like, longer ship, because, like, right when she gets out and is, like, talking to Sabine, that's the ship that's, like, right behind her. And then in the end of Rebels, when those ships go by, then Ahsoka appears and all of a sudden Sabine's going off with Ahsoka, you know, because she had another purpose.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. You make good points.
I mean, or maybe it just happened twice. I don't know. But
Well,
it
she
was
said it's been a
very-
long time, so it's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to compare the animated with the live action, like how much are they taking
Yes.
in, or so.
Well, it's Filoni. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like he's not gonna like retcon his own stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Something-
But hair might not be that important.
Hair's important to me.
But it might be
People
one of
change
those
their hair a lot.
things that says, "Well, that worked for animation, but not in live action." So the
And
Robert
there's
Kirk
Gonna be...
excuse.
there's gonna be some of that. And actually, we have a comment in the chat saying, I'm curious as someone who's seen both animated and live action, how do you think they'll make the Rebels characters being brought into live action accessible for the newer viewers in Ahsoka? And that brings up the good point, is that a lot of the things that they could do in animation, they're not going to be able to do in live action. So they're going to have to
Yeah.
adapt. And
Well, I'm
we-
just used to a lot of Mandalorians' hair being shorter because when they put the helmet on,
yeah.
where's
Makes
their hair
sense.
gonna go?
Yes,
Yeah.
it can be difficult. But then accessible in terms of, like, getting people interested and involved. And we've been talking about that on our weekly show about, you know, do people feel connected enough to just Ahsoka from what they've seen of her in live action to watch the show. I keep thinking they're going to bring something more into The Mandalorian this season to tie it together. But we'll see what happens.
And like
Regardless,
I just tell people,
I think there's lots of hype for this. So
yeah,
should
me
do well.
too. And I just tell people, if you haven't seen it yet, just watch Rebels. Watch the whole season.
It's good.
It's so good.
It's amazing. I mean, Disney Plus has broken up all the Ahsoka story arcs, in a nice little line. But watch all of Rebels.
Yeah,
It is
clearly
so
all the
good.
Rebels characters are going to be intertwined with the Ahsoka series. So
It's not just a cartoon for kids, people.
yeah, it's actually really funny, you know?
Yeah, and heartwarming.
Yes.
You'll tug at your heartstrings a couple times.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello. Welcome to the Star Wars show.
Yeah. Welcome to the Star Wars.
What are we calling it?
All right, where are we at? So we talked about World Between Worlds a little bit. We get also some brief clips of the woman that had the Beskar staff or spear.
The Magistrate Morgan Elsbeth?
Yep. So she comes back in some regard, and we know
Or
that was a lead to Thrawn. So again,
she comes back, or this is before Ahsoka fought her in the Mando. That's what I was kind of thinking timeline-wise.
ooh,
Like,
do
what
they
if,
overlap?
or no, what if it's before? Maybe, yeah.
Do they overlap with what we've seen of Ahsoka already? That could be interesting.
I don't know.
Or I can even see Ahsoka like telling her, after the village fight, kind of that, that whole Wyatt Earp tombstone. You go tell him I'm coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go tell Thrawn I'm after him. I mean, it could.
Yeah,
It was
do a
just
lot of
a
things.
minute-long trailer. I mean, my brain was just been
I'm-
much ever since. There's so much to think about.
Crazy. Saw the back of Thrawn's head, but we saw his face in some stills that are leaked online. Overall, I think it's going to be great.
Definitely.
How
How they're
just
gonna...
just the holding of his body, his posture is already spot on. I'm a huge Thrawn fan. For those that don't know, I've read all the books.
I'm
So-
re-listening to Heir of the Empire on
Yeah,
Audible.
so
right now.
I lost my shit. Like, I saw the back of his head and I freaked out, of course. But then when they said Heir to the Empire, I was like, oh my gosh! Ah! So, like, if they call out some aspects from the books in this, I will just lose my mind. I'll be so excited.
She's excited for Thrawn. I'm excited for Ahsoka.
I'm excited for the Ghost,
Oh, yeah, the Ghost.
Chopper.
I have Chopper.
Chopper.
I just can't wait to see Chopper live action. Oh, my gosh.
Oh yeah. And then, I mean, the next day at the panel, we got confirmation who was playing Thrawn. And
Yeah.
Again.
And I hear some kind of alluded content maybe on this week's Mandalorian episode as well.
Possibly.
So there may be some
No
dropping of
spoilers.
names.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got a comment. I
I
hope
do
to
too.
see Kanan flashbacks in live action. Well,
Honestly, it'd be amazing to see Kane in live action, like in some flashbacks. With, like,
we don't have any leaked casting rumors for
you
him.
know, maybe they kept it under wraps.
So I don't know.
Well, I just hope that they actually bring Kanan and Hera's son into it, because like if they just
Yeah.
like
Yes.
completely write him off, like he doesn't exist and like he doesn't show up at all, it's
Right?
gonna be extremely disappointing.
Yeah, that would be strange.
And he needs green hair.
Yeah.
So
I just assumed he'd be like more Twi'lek.
No, he had colored hair at the end of Rebels. Was it green?
yeah, it was like little
Was it
green,
green?
like shaggy
Little
hair.
green.
Oh, that's right. They did show him at the very end, the back of his head, huh?
No, they showed the front of his head.
They did?
Yeah, he was piloting right next to her.
Oh. I need to rewatch. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Clearly.
But Thrawn is, if again going back to Rebels, is the actor Lars Mikkelsen, who's Mads Mikkelsen's brother,
Yeah.
who voiced
So
him
look,
on the show.
both of them now get to be in live action Star Wars.
And they're both in big trailers that dropped on the same day because Mads
Yeah.
is in Indiana Jones, which was shown earlier.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very cool. So yeah, another voice actor that gets to play the real live action character. It's kind of neat.
I love when they do that.
All right. Anything else on the Ahsoka bits?
Oh, got a cool poster. I mean, it's just her face, but it looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And it's got the doodling of the World Between Worlds kind of vibe
Yeah.
in the back of the kind of logo. I don't think I wrote much down because I thought Jade would have all the squirrel holes that she wanted us to go down for the trailer.
Those are most of them, I think.
I
Yeah,
just
my big
wrote
thing was
down-
Rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to question was like towards the end of the trailer, it was like Outcast, and then it'd like have a shot of her, and then it would be like Rebel, and then it had like a shot of her, and then it was like Jedi, and then it had a shot of her, and I was like, is she gonna like consider herself a Jedi again, or is this referring to a different Jedi? I'm not sure.
Maybe like just maybe she does become, because like I said, that droid tells her maybe it's time to start again.
Yeah. Well, and
And-
we know Luke's out there building the Jedi school, and
Yeah.
she's already connected with Luke in some regard.
But literally, okay, I just had this thought.
So-
Literally, the droid could not be talking about like rebuilding the Jedi Order. Maybe he's just helping somebody build a saber, and he's like, maybe it's time to start again.
Yeah, true.
They're just like pulling stuff out of
But
context.
she must have to be, because I guess spoiler alert if you haven't seen The Rise of Skywalker, but she's one of the Force ghosts that speaks to Rey at the end. They're all
Yeah.
dead Jedi, so
Yeah.
maybe she
Yeah.
became a Jedi or took,
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I refuse to believe she's actually dead in that.
Well, and just because she claims to be no Jedi doesn't mean
That's true.
she's not still one with the Force.
Maybe
right?
she doesn't identify with the Jedi Order, but she still
Exactly.
holds up the ideals of a Jedi.
Exactly.
So
Because actually, in an interview that Rosario Dawson did at Celebration, let's see, or it was at the panel. She talked about the search and what's driving Ahsoka so strongly, and she's quoted as saying, "Though she is not a Jedi, she has so much of that at heart for her. She's driven by trying to do good. She sees a threat other people aren't seeing." So maybe if she doesn't associate herself as a, quote, traditional Jedi, she's still, like you mentioned, like those values and beliefs are still like truly embedded in who she is.
Yeah.
well, I mean, if anything, she was more Jedi than a lot of the Jedi Order, especially at the end of Clone Wars.
She was very Qui-Gon-y
Mm-hmm.
in a way.
Yeah.
But and I guess she did
We're
during the
gone.
panel. She did kind of tease a possible season 2. So who knows?
Yes. Yes, she did. Comment from Skyvenger, maybe it's referring to Ezra, and it could also see it as referring to her.
Fair.
So could be talking about Ezra. And Sabine wielding his lightsaber, oh my god, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That
Yeah.
was cool looking.
And
Excited
she
for
was wearing a
that.
brown leather jacket like Carson Teva was. So I think that's like the new look for
Uh-huh. I need one now.
Yeah.
Clearly. All right, so we got Ahsoka out of the way. Shall we hit the movies or keep on the TV show front here?
I don't know.
Uh,
I have nothing more to talk about. No, just kidding.
and we're done.
We could just keep going with the Disney Plus series because we're on the roll. We
Yeah,
got just really quick for 2024. We know we're going to get a third and final season of The Bad Batch. Finnick Shand will be returning
Oh, in the Bad Batch.
in The Bad Batch.
Okay,
Nice.
okay.
That was my
So that
favorite
was-
episode with her and Cad Bane in the first season.
Yes.
Yeah, so she returns for that third and final season. I'll try to get the quick ones out of the way before we dive into some of the new stuff. We are going to get another set of the Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. Filoni's little animated shorts that have to
yeah.
do with like some backstory of some of the Jedi. We got Dooku and Ahsoka. So it'll be kind of cool to see what Jedi we see next.
It's Filoni. You know
that.
there's going to be a Plo Koon
Oh, yeah.
story.
Really quick, what else was there show-wise? It did not get a whole lot of highlights, but Kathleen Kennedy did confirm that the Lando Calrissian series is still in the works, quote. She said, "I can just tell you that it's still happening. He's very excited about it in regards to Glover playing the role again of Lando Calrissian." So,
Of course.
There you
Of
go.
course.
Cool.
He was a great Lando.
yep.
Yeah.
We also got news about the next season, just like a little blurb about one of the producers, I think it was Filoni or was it Favreau, was asked what he thought about Din Djarin being no longer one of the only main characters. And the quote is, "I think now with Bo possessing the Darksaber, I know that there was a lot of expectations that might have shifted in terms of what it meant for Din Djarin and also for Bo. And what does it mean? Who is the Mandalorian at this point? And so I think it could be anyone. And I think that's what we're trying to define in many ways, is what does that mean to be Mandalorian?"
And I like that.
Yeah.
So it isn't just him anymore. It is more about the people.
Yeah, because I knew a lot of people that fell into Star Wars because of the Mandalorian were like super pissed that Bo ended up with it.
Oh,
He's
no,
like, well, he's the main character. That
yeah.
makes no sense. I'm like, but in the overall bigger story, that was such an amazing moment. So
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it yet. Did we get a Visions trailer for season 2?
yeah,
I
it
heard
looks
that there
amazing.
was a combination. I didn't watch it, but a combination of CGI, some hand-drawn animation, and what somebody quoted as saying could be claymation.
Yeah. So are you guys? I'm guessing familiar with like the Wallace and Gromit
Yeah.
Chicken Run. That studio had made a short.
Oh,
The trailer's
yeah.
out. It looks amazing. I love Wallace and Gromit. I love Chicken Run and all the movies they've made since then. And it's Star Wars with that style.
Oh my gosh, that'll be so cool.
And it's cool because it's not just anime like it was last year. It was studios from England, Ireland, Africa, Japan still, and U.S. So all over the world now. So the trailer was amazing.
Yeah, I love the Visions. That was
Yeah.
a really cool little snippet. So that'll be
I mean, if you'd like, I could pull up the trailer while you guys are going over some other stuff, if you want.
Oh, sure. Let's see. I'll also quickly talk about Andor season 2. They're aiming for an August 2024 premiere date. They started shooting already in November. So they're already laying the groundwork for that. Gilroy said they're about halfway through. They're planning through August 2023, and then they plan to finish by the following year, August 2024.
Oh, nice.
They gave a few clips, I guess, and we hear Mon Mothma say, "If we don't stand together, we will be crushed." And then it showed just flashes of our regular characters.
I forgot to mention real quick that going back to the Ahsoka trailer one more time. You know that visual, that little hologram of Mon Mothma, real quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I was on Twitter, and like all those characters they're already credited because they had like a subtitle on the names, and so they're all senators. The one to her left, and I'm not even going to try because I'm going to butcher the name, but he was a senator, and it's kind of an Asian name, but it's basically Kaz from Resistance, his dad.
Oh, okay.
It was Senator
I can see that.
something or other. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
then so I'm like, oh my god! So they're even tying in Resistance a little bit.
Cool. I like it. We had a Facebook user. Be sure that you enable StreamYard to share your information so we can see who you are.
Yes.
Anybody live streaming with us. But I got a comment here about India. So that was the other Visions studio was from India.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. You just let me know when you're ready, Joey.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
So this is Vision Season 2. Kind of reminds me of a video game.
Yeah.
I play that game.
Like a horror video game. Whoa, that's kind of cool.
An inner light.
That looks like Kubo in the third strings.
Uh-huh.
Always
Okay,
more
so we get
than little
9.
things.
Cool.
What if you just keep going?
No need to fear.
There are others like you here.
I saw it myself. She has special powers.
Can you get your porta
I like
potty off the
Ah,
starting line?
yes.
Yes!
Oh, the Wookiee.
Ah,
Don't be afraid. May the force be with
that's
you.
great.
It's showtime.
Wow.
Ooh, I love it.
Ooh.
The storm is approaching.
I can fight them.
Yes.
I'm strong enough now.
Oh, that one's cool too. It looks like that one.
We can beat them.
That was awesome.
You know who that looked like?
Quinlan Voss?
That is a young Quinlan.
It looked like him.
Ooh.
May 4th.
Yeah.
We cannot choose where our course
I love we
takes
get
us,
something on May 4th.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
only whether or not to answer.
Those lightsabers are awesome.
Yeah. The paintbrush
Yeah.
thing that happens as the effect. Oh my gosh, that's badass.
And that one studio looked like the Kubo and the Three Strings, that style of animation. So it looks amazing. I cannot wait for this at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, look.
those are great. I love the first season too. The umbrella lightsaber.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, those are so cool that you get to do that kind of a vibe with
Yeah.
animation. So it's so neat.
Yeah, but
Cool.
I'm glad we're getting them all dropping at once on May the 4th. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what we'll be doing all day.
Well, it
Yeah,
probably
no
won't be
kidding.
super long.
Well, half a day.
Yeah. Watch them twice.
All right, so we've got left two big announcements of content. We got Skeleton Crew and Acolyte. Which one do you guys want to hit first? Oh, we got a comment. Looks incredible. I wonder how it will be compared to the first season, since this time around there's less anime and more varied animation styles. I think that's cool, actually.
Yeah. And from what I heard, they mentioned it last Celebration. They had some of the producers, but they're still working on more. Like 3 of the stories from the first season are still kind of they're working out for their own like spin-off shows. Like the
Nice.
Ninth Jedi was a very popular one.
Yeah.
That has continued stories. The ones with the twins
Mhm.
and a couple other ones. So the Ronin, I know that was a big popular one. So I think
Ooh, I love the Ronin.
Yeah, so I
Because
think they're
it's the
reworking
classic
those.
samurai story
Yeah.
that Star Wars got
Yeah.
so much
Fear.
inspiration from. So yeah.
yeah.
That'll be good.
Okay. Acolyte or Skeleton Crew?
Let's go alphabetically.
All right. Acolyte. This one I'm very hyped for. Because I love what's her name? Headland, Leslie Headland.
Hmm.
She's got some cool shows that I enjoy. But yeah, we get a 2024 release date, and we get a lot more details about what this story is going to be about. We got a timeline of the High Republic era, which is currently just in novel, book, comic book, all written form so far.
Yeah. Have you read any of them, or
Oh,
I know
yes.
you're the reader. Okay.
Oh, yes. Almost all of them. Not so much the graphic novels and the younger stories, but all the adult and youth fiction level and above. Although I do have a couple of the kid books, the like 10 to
Yeah.
12-year-old reading ones, just because they were on sale at Barnes & Noble, so they're just over on my bookshelf.
Why not throw them with a collection?
A nice quick read. So yeah, when there's a confirmation of a character probably from the books that we'll see, but I just wrote down a couple of the things that Leslie Headland, had said about it. One of her famous quotes that's going around the internet right now is that it's Frozen meets Kill Bill.
Oh, yeah.
They
And I
have
was
me
like,
at that.
What the F do they mean by this?
Yeah.
And so she did elaborate. She said, because much of it, on the one hand, is about the villain actually being a powerful, misunderstood woman with a complicated relationship. And then the other is like a modern day martial art film, very much in the line of Kurosawa, which we all know is one of George Lucas's big influences. Are
Probably
those
one of the
old,
biggest,
samurai movies. It's going to be a Disney Plus series toward the end of the High Republic era. So it's like forward in time from where we currently have the books plopped in that timeline, but not so much. So we're going to see older characters probably in this live action that are from the books. She was quoted in saying she wanted to delve into the Star Wars universe and tell the story of this entire world that she loves so much from the perspective of the bad guys.
That's cool.
So the whole show is going to have that kind of bad guy perspective lens instead of always being from the other side.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. No, they had me at Frozen and Kill Bill, so.
Yeah,
So she goes on to say this is when the bad guys are outnumbered. They are the underdogs. I'm really excited for you guys to see things that you haven't yet seen in live action. So there was something that came out in an interview too about how much training the cast had to do for the stunts for their own. They had to do like Jedi training and 3 or 4 months of intensive training before they even did any shooting for this.
Wow.
So it's going to be very physical,
so
very action based.
We're gonna get some like hardcore Jedi
Live
saber
action stunt work.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's gonna be good.
I was excited to hear too that Jonas, who plays Chewbacca, is also playing another Wookiee who's a Jedi, and that's just awesome.
I can't remember the name, but at first a lot of us nerds from the book world thought it was Barryaga, which is the kind of central Wookiee Jedi in the books, but it's not.
Yeah.
But just a side note there. And an interesting thing about the High Republic Jedi is they have a lot of force sensitivities and force powers that we haven't really seen much of elsewhere.
In live action.
In live action or even in some of the animated, like in any of the shows or TV stuff, we haven't seen the things that are talked about in the way that people can use the force back in this time period. They developed more specialized force abilities, I guess is a good way to put it. So it'll be interesting to see how that ties in as well.
That'd be cool.
Comment, hyped to finally see a new time period get highlighted in live action.
Yeah.
And I kind of talked about this back when they talked about the High Republic novels, that this would be one of the new areas of time they explored. And we finally get it confirmed.
Do you think we'll see Yoda in the show?
No, because I don't know.
Well, think of
'Cause he's around though, isn't he?
Grogu's
I mean,
like
he's
50
around, but
years
he's
old.
not in the books.
Yeah.
So an interesting thing is that he's talked about like he's taken off on like a sabbatical. So he's hinted at and he's talked about his influence on the current Jedi, but he's not actually a pivotal character because he's on this like commune with the Force.
That's good enough.
But she mentioned 4 episodes are already completed, fully produced and finished. 4 episodes already.
Drop them now.
I know, right? Like, damn, they've been working on this. So, very hyped. But we don't see the official release till 2024, which, if they already have 4 fully produced episodes confirmed, I'm thinking it must be early 2024, right?
It's gotta be, January, February.
It's got to be before May.
They want to build a hype, show the first episode in the summer. All right, you'll get the whole season in 5 months. You know?
Just drop us like an episode every month.
Yeah, a webisode. I did see a like 30-40 seconds of a bootleg trailer, and from the little bit I saw, even bootleg, it looks so cool. I mean, the only thing I really saw was and I forget his name, but the character from Squid Game. He's a Jedi Master, and he's training a bunch of younglings. But just the vibe is there. It looks awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Skeleton Crew. So this we've learned about for the first time at last Celebration.
Yeah.
And we got the Jude Law reveal that he would be starring in it. And all we got at that point was that it's going to be about a group of kids kind of going on a space adventure. And now we've got more deets. So it's going to be released this year, 2023. It's focused around a younger cast of characters. It's been compared now to Goonies and inspiration from Amblin's kind of 80s vibe of films. So
Yeah.
those like young kids out on their own, getting into trouble,
Getting
Yeah.
in trouble, finding treasure.
adventuring.
Yeah, I've heard Goonies, Stranger Things, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I've got kind of a, list here of a couple of the directors. We got John Watts, David Lowery, the Daniels, Jake Schreier, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Lee Isaac Chung. They did show a trailer, which I can't find now, but I did, again, see some clips here and there, but I've got a description. So it opens up with kids living on an unknown forested world. They go to school, live their lives, ride speeder bikes, kind of just flashes of like a regular life. But they talk about longing for adventure. And one night when they're hanging out in the woods alone, right? They've ditched their parents, probably snuck out of the house, and
As kids
Oh.
do.
yeah.
Drinking a little blue milk.
And then it kind of jumps to parents returning home to a vision of like what Star Wars suburbia would be like. And they find their kids gone. And then, I just clicked on something and it went blank. There we go. Those kids are our main group. So there's 2 young girls, a young boy, and then a small alien, an Ortolan, I believe is the name. Kind of a little blue pudgy alien that Max Rebo's character is.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Give me more Rebo.
Yeah. So a kid version of that species. And then there's shots of them aboard like a mercenary starship of some kind. There's shots around them encountering weird creatures, holograms of their parents begging for them to return, and then them being menaced by some pirates who
Yes.
look very much like Gorian Shard's pirates from The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I saw that part of the trailer. It was Vane.
Interesting.
It was definitely Vane,
Yeah.
who took off squealing
Yep.
last we saw.
Mhm.
So.
Yep.
So that's why they made him seem like such a crucial part of the Mandalorian.
Yep.
Ah,
Now we
that
know
makes
why.
sense.
It wasn't really because of the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It's because of Skeleton Crew. Yeah. So then they get captured, and it looks like they're in like a prison cell on maybe a pirate base. And you get the vision of a hooded figure approaching, floating a key to their freedom, and the kids shouting, "He's a Jedi!" And then the hood's taken off, and it's Jude Law's character.
It's Dumbledore.
So
Another Jedi in a time of no Jedi.
exactly,
They're
they're just
true.
underground.
They're just
That's true.
hiding.
We know this. They're in hiding.
That
Doesn't mean
is
they're
true.
no longer Jedi. They're just not flaunting it about.
Yeah.
They're just not building temples and stuff. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're on the DL. So I'm excited. I love Jude Law. He's hot.
No, I'm excited for this too, especially at D23 when they're talking about this. I guess Jon Favreau he mentioned that he was talking to John Watts, who's the director of the 3 Spider-Man movies,
Yes.
and so they're deep in casting for season 2 or season 3 for directors. He's like, "Hey, would you want to direct maybe an episode of Mandalorian?" He's like, "Well, I'd love to, but I got an idea that might be a little bit more than one episode," and pitched him the whole Skeleton Crew. They're like, "All right, let's do it." Pretty much.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be cool. And yeah, I'm a fan of Jude Law too. So,
And the kids' adventure thing, I think that kind of new storyline, not tied to anything else really. I think that era of kids needs something just for them. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that was it for the show news, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. So movies. I gotta say, I feel a little ripped off last Celebration
Yeah.
Yeah.
because there is so much content dropped at this year's Celebration in London.
Oh, so
like-
many cool things there too.
Where was our tidbits of spoken stuff here? Gosh.
Yeah, exactly. And I was expecting movie news, but I wasn't not expecting this at all.
So much movie news.
Yeah.
Okay, here I had a picture actually. Where'd it go? So, boom. We got the timeline. I
The
just
new
started.
official timeline.
Oh, it's so cool. So, you got the Dawn of the Jedi pops up. You got the Call to the Old Republic, which we also haven't gotten much content from since Lucas Films was purchased by Disney, and it's all non-canon right at this point. There's the High Republic, and then into what we know to be the most popular component of the timeline, and then out there at the far end, you get the new Jedi Order.
Which is going to be Rey's time, correct?
Yeah.
So, boom! We get Daisy Ridley showing up all smoking hot.
She's back.
She's all excited to play Rey again.
And not
And then-
all 40-year-old Star Wars fans are crying fanboys that Rey's coming back. I'm excited. I love Rey.
Yes.
And, it's going I'm excited for this movie and where
yeah.
it could go. So,
Where it could go.
Yes, so we get the same director for Miss Marvel. And I'm going to butcher her name probably. Charmine Obadad
Chinoy?
Chinoy? Oh, God, I'm horrible at names, guys. I'm sorry. But she was the one that came out dressed like Padme. She was straight up cosplaying, right? That was her? That I saw pictures of?
I know the young... I saw her. I don't know what she was wearing. I know the young actress that played Rue in Hunger Games. She showed up as Attack of the Clones Padme.
Yes.
And she's
and
in
what-
The Acolyte.
Oh, she was an acolyte cast. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I don't know what this director looks like. I was trying to look her up to figure it out. But anyways. So I'm excited. I cosplay Rey. I love Rey. I think it's
Nice.
awesome. We have a couple of critiques about the way that they did her character development.
Yeah.
And particularly some stuff in the last film that I think was done poorly, probably by the director.
Well, that's what happens when you have 3 movies in one trilogy with 3 different writers and storylines. No consistency. So,
Yeah.
but Daisy Ridley did the best she could with
yeah.
what she had, and she's a badass, and now she's got her own movie. So,
Yeah, so it'll be about 15 years after the rise of Skywalker. We see Rey will attempt to rebuild the Jedi Order as a Jedi Master. This director is quoted as saying, "I've always been attracted to the hero's journey and the fact that the world needs many more heroes." And the hero's journey, again, is this kind of larger theme and I don't know how to explain it. I even read the book that this is all based off of. It's so great. But it's about a character's development, right? And this journey that they have to go through to learn their lessons of wisdom, right? To come out of the other side. And this is a fundamental piece that George Lucas built into the main heroes of the Star Wars universe as he was building them. It's like a redemption arc in a way.
yeah.
So I'm super excited if they dive into that more intently, where we'll see Rey's character at this point. It'll be very cool. And hopefully it'll help us make sense of some of those weird character pieces that didn't quite connect for us in the last movie. Particularly with Rey's,
Yeah.
owning of herself, I guess, as a woman, and I don't know how else to put it, but Anyway.
I'd say as a person in general.
A person in general. Yes.
Going from a scavenger to
Yeah.
a leader, that Luke
Yeah.
arc, basically,
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
literally.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool
Okay.
thing is, being that she's already cast, is I know one of the time frames is the first movie is targeted for 2025. So this is obviously the one coming out that we'll see first.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering if it might be Filoni's. Because they could have secretly been shooting stuff.
Yeah, but I think they still got so much more to shoot for the Mandalorian and even other stuff. So I think we still got a bigger scale that will definitely build up to his announcement. So
Next
Okay, so I'm
celebration.
writing down. Joey
Yeah.
predicts
Ray
2025. Okay. Because we already know they have slotted releases for 2025 and 2027
yeah,
of two of them because it's on Disney's big, like, film plan thing.
yeah,
Okay, so then since we're already mentioning Filoni's film, Dave Filoni
yeah.
will get his
Awesome.
own live action movie finally. Yay! Here he is, our Star Wars hero.
King Dave.
Yay! Applause. It'll be set during the New Republic period, and we did talk a little bit about like the Rangers movie that seemed to drop off the map, and like
Yeah,
where's that at? What's going to happen with that?
I think
But
it still could be reworked.
Yeah. But this is that same New Republic time period. He says, I don't know if I'd call it a finale. I think of the time period now as the New Republic time period, and it's something that has existed long before we were ever making The Mandalorian. The idea that after Return of the Jedi, there was a New Republic, and that the heroes still had to defeat or defend that Republic from the remnant of the Empire is a very old idea. And we brought it into the first season of The Mandalorian because it's what was always there. So Lucasfilms also revealed that it will interconnect stories told in The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and another New Republic-focused Disney Plus series.
And Skeleton Crew, which is in that same universe.
I think that's the one that they are saying
Yeah.
is the New Republic, but they wouldn't name it. But I think it probably would be.
I'm excited.
It's giving Battlefront.
Yeah. And we know Filoni likes to dip into the Star Wars legends. So I think we'll get a lot of that heir to the Empire. I mean, we got the phrase in the Ahsoka trailer. We got Thrawn from there, so I'm sure he'll dip into that trilogy. He seems to be a big fan of that Thrawn
There's
trilogy.
a lot of good places you could go if you tie in the books there. And I mean, there is canon Thrawn novels
Yeah.
that provide also a rich content. So
And I was saying he's really, he always jokes around that he's the lowest grossing Star Wars director with a Clone Wars movie. So I think he probably wants to get out of that bracket and be in the higher ones. And with Mandalorian, the Mandoverse being so popular, yeah, this is a great move by Disney or Lucasfilm. Sorry.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then our third, we learn, is going to be directed by James Mangold, who was the director of Logan.
Yeah.
And the upcoming Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. But once I saw, I mean, I loved Logan. If they keep a kind of darker vibe, oh my gosh, it would be so cool.
Yeah, this guy, he's such a good director because he also did the Wolverine, the one that took place in Japan, which the R-rated version is so much better than the theatrical version. 310 to Yuma, Walk the Line. I mean, Ford versus Ferrari. So
If this could be like a legit adult Star Wars film,
yeah,
like there could
know
be a
what you- I
rated
know what
R
you mean.
version with all the blood and guts and like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I would lose my mind.
Actually show that.
But
Tough
it
to
says, he's quoted in that the film will go back to the dawn of the Jedi, a dawning of the Force, and will tell the tale of the first Jedi ever and what he described as a biblical epic.
yeah.
Like, whew.
Yeah, 25,000 years into the past.
Yeah, like the first Jedi. Like, what in, like, I can't even fathom where we're going with this. I mean,
Yeah.
there is some like Old Republic rumors of, you know, like stories, legends, as it were, that were alluded to from the Old Republic, where we get stories in novel form that aren't canon now. But
Yeah.
oh gosh, it could be so interesting.
I'm really intrigued for sure.
Yes.
So just hope these ones actually come to fruition, though, since the track record on the films hasn't been great. On so and so's doing this, now they're not doing it no more. So
Yeah. Well, there was somebody pinned down Kathleen Kennedy about Taika Waititi's film, and it's not scrapped. She did an interview with Variety, and she said Tika is still working away on the film, and it's just taking a while because he doesn't want anyone else helping with the script. He's writing the entire script himself, Kennedy said. He doesn't really want to bring others into that process, and I don't blame him. He has a very, very unique voice. So they're just giving him free reign
yeah,
over his own movie. Like, that's pretty awesome. Like, to
Yeah.
have that level of empowerment and trust,
And
that's
I-
crazy.
and I know a lot of people are giving him crap for Thor: Love and Thunder because it wasn't the best movie, but his track record though has still been nothing but gold, either on TV or movies, minus Thor: Love and Thunder. So
I mean, it
liked
wasn't,
it.
it wasn't
yeah, me
bad.
too. It wasn't
It
terrible.
was still fun.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get better than Ragnarok. Come on.
Exactly.
I mean,
you can only go down
you
from
know.
But then I
was one
saw-
of the best movies ever.
Then I even saw Kennedy mention that Rogue Squadron might be even reworked into a series over a movie. So I mean, who knows? We'll
I
see.
see that, yeah.
So that was the major news. There's, you know, tons of little things. They talked about, let's see, there was a trailer dropped for Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yeah,
That looked pretty good, I heard. Cal, still the main focus.
Oh, yeah.
Bunch of different gameplay with hidden fights against stormtroopers, destroyer droids, even a Rancor.
I saw that.
See a gnarly scene where he throws a scout trooper from a speeder straight into a TIE fighter.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to get that game.
So, some good game content coming.
And the coverage on YouTube was great. The Star Wars live stage. That even when I'm at Celebration, that's one of my favorite places to go because you never know who's gonna pop out and everything. So
Yeah.
you know, it's really cool.
So
They announced Return of the Jedi coming back out. to theater.
Yes! The anniversary edition to match my
Yeah.
car.
Nice. The poster for that looked amazing too.
Yeah, and then did you see my invite to the film festival?
Yeah.
That they're actually going to hold in Del Norte County a film festival around Star Wars Return of the Jedi in the Redwoods where Endor is. It's Endor.
Yeah.
But the 501st and the Rebel Legions are going to be there.
That would
So
be
it's
amazing.
a little weekend film
Intriguing.
that could be awesome. If anybody wants to join, that's all over the interwebs.
I want
And
to
then,
I want to sit with an Ewok.
yeah. And then we get, of course, we always wait to the last day, toward the end of the day, and they release where the next celebration will be and when.
It's like, woo,
And
boo.
This year, it threw a bunch of people off because typically it kind of bounces around. Like, it'll be somewhere else and then be back in America or the U.S. and then somewhere else overseas and then back in the U.S. And this year was in London. And then now next year, boom,
Japan.
Japan,
Japan.
2025.
On Easter
Which-
weekend again, people are saying.
Yeah, another April.
And the one in Anaheim was on Memorial Day weekend. Stay away from the holidays.
Yeah.
Seriously, it makes travel plans difficult.
but 2 years
Yeah.
to save. So it's like, getaway today.
Yeah.
way.
Our sponsor, Getaway Today, would be happy to speak with you about some options. And actually, David looked up some flights already, and they're not really that bad. I was surprised. Yeah, but
We'll see.
2025, that'll be the year we see a film. So you can
Yeah.
plan for some exclusive content pre-film probably at Celebration 2025.
We did get one more little bit of news for Disneyland fans. I watched the Disney panel and it was garbage. It wasn't nothing but
Oh.
like, this is Galaxy's Edge. It's like, yeah, it's been there for 3 years, but they did announce that Star Tours is getting new destinations, new characters,
Ooh.
and they didn't want to announce because it sounds like some of it might tie into some of the shows and maybe even like the High Republic era stuff, which who knows? They didn't say too much, so. But
Interesting.
we were recently
Cool.
talking about on Extra Magic Hour. I'm like, yeah, I'm good for Star Tours to go. It's done its time as much as I love it, but apparently it's going to stay now. So
Nice. Well, I mean, it's a classic, right?
Yeah.
Before we had Galaxy's Edge, like that was it. That's what we got, you know?
Yeah.
So it would be a cool way to expand the timeline that you can focus on in the parks, whereas Galaxy's Edge kind of is almost set in a period of time.
yeah,
That's true.
But Star Tours could expand and show you stories from other periods.
yeah. Which is another reason why I'm excited for the Rey movie coming first, because it can kind of slightly transition Galaxy's Edge, but still keeping it, because there is a story issue between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. So it's just still make it a universal land, but when you're saying it's between these two movies, yet Kylo Ren's wearing a mask, it's like
yeah.
shouldn't be doing that. So
Yeah. Well, and now we got the Mandalorian and Boba Fett walking around.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
cool to see, but if you're sticking to story, it does not make
Yeah.
sense.
No.
So
We know they've thrown that whole idea of an immersive experience out the
Yeah.
window. Like, it's not going to make logical sense.
yeah, as
I
it says-
am curious to see how they rework the holocron. Holocron? Halcyon?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
The Halcyon for other maybe story options.
yeah, they should rotate that. And they're very like, oh, we're going to get more characters, but we're not ready to announce that yet. We're like, why not? You're going to announce Bo-Katan. She's going to be walking around, and then Ahsoka, is coming. So what's the big secret?
Yeah.
I don't know if they do Ahsoka. That seems like a lot of work for somebody walking around
That
the park.
would be very difficult.
Yeah.
I think they still would. Though it's too popular not to, especially with the show.
Oh, yeah, but we know how horrible it is to be hot
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sweaty in that
And
makeup.
makeup.
It's just
And
not.
the headpiece and like all those layers. Oh my gosh. Whoever
It
that
takes
person is, you're gonna be
hours to put
sweaty.
on those kind of
Yeah.
pieces and the makeup for that.
Well, she'll
kind of
probably stay in the marketplace and in the shade.
thing. Yeah,
That would be pretty sick.
that'd be crazy.
I don't know. I think it'd be more likely for us to get somebody like Hera or like a
See,
Sabine.
that's again
I'd be all
Hera.
down with that.
too much makeup still.
What easier?
Chopper.
Yes.
They got R2 rolling around, little Sprite droids too, Sprite and Coca-Cola droids. So
Yeah.
Yep.
True.
I sent you guys that Chopper toy coming out, right?
Yes.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Spendy,
definitely
but
getting that.
awesome.
Yeah. Surprisingly spendy for the size.
Yeah, true. But it looks cool.
I didn't see any other toys released. Was that the only one?
Hasbro released like a bunch of ones that are coming out. They're releasing. Spoiler alert! They're releasing Bad Batch Season 2 figures,
Oh,
And,
yep, I see those.
and they looked really cool. But I couldn't help but I had a comment on the Hasbro page when they announced them. I'm like, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen Bad Batch, but I'm like, somebody give Tech a parachute
Oh,
because too soon,
rough,
too soon.
rough.
I'm a fan of the Micro Galaxy, the little squadron ships. They're kind of like these,
Uh-huh.
and they have like action figures. They're pretty detailed, but they released like Phase 4 and 5 or 5 that's coming out. So those are pretty cool.
Cool.
I think the thing I want the most is Stance Socks is coming out with a 3 sock Return of the Jedi pack.
Ooh.
So it's 3 pairs of socks and a Return of the Jedi lunchbox that actually comes with a thermos. So it's an Ewok thermos.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
So that was on pre-order at Celebration, and it'll be on pre-order soon on Stance's website. That was like the number one thing I wanted. So
I'll get their emails.
yeah,
I love socks. I have an elaborate collection of socks, people.
nice.
I'm
Just
all
so you
about the
know.
wearable merch. So, you know.
That was some of the stuff I noticed the most. But
Yeah. What else? Oh, the badges this year. Again, a gripe.
yeah,
Last year, our badging sucked.
they were the worst badges I've seen.
And this year's were just amazing works of
Yeah.
art.
Yeah, I totally agree.
We got
So,
gypped.
again,
We got hosed.
totally gypped.
But other than that, it was a good. I thought it was a pretty good celebration. I was waking up early to watch everything. Like I said, the Star Wars live interviews were great. So
Yeah.
seeing
Saw lots
Hayden,
of-
I mean, in tears because of the reception he got.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was awesome. I was in tears.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang. There's some nice Funko bags. Funko stuff here. Oh, the armorer.
Oh, the lounge fly.
Oh, look at that beauty.
Yes. Yes. The lounge fly.
Wow.
We're just shopping now.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Distracted now. All right. We won't make everybody else online shop with me as I start squirreling down the merch.
But let me know when they announce those socks because I definitely want those.
Yeah. Stance sock. I'm gonna get on that list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wrapping it up.
All right. Sorry. Thanks everybody for hanging with us on our Knights of the Republic live special, talking about Star Wars Celebration, recapping all of the news and the future of Star Wars for the next couple of years. Please join us every week through the end of this season of The Mandalorian as we recap each chapter that's released week to week. We got 2 more that you can find on the
And
podcast
people's-
platforms.
Yeah, people screened the episode 7 is, from what I've heard, nothing's been spoiled, which is good, but definitely a top episode of the series.
Yeah.
Is the
Just be
next one.
cautious because I'm sure some
Yeah.
bleepy out there may try to spoil it. So
Well, it's getting released tonight. So.
oh yeah, midnight. Okay. All right. We might be safe. We might make it through unspoiled.
I
So
might have to stay up late and watch it.
and you can join Walt's apartment tomorrow night live to talk all things Disney at 7:30, and every week on your social media platforms. So, for now, may the Force be with you.
This is the way.
Goodbye then.